Good afternoon, and that is our first squat of the afternoon flight. We had Jay lifting 150 kilos, and he made it look ridiculously easy. Next up, we've got TJ coming out with 160. His personal best is 185, so he's just going to come out, get a really nice and convincing opener, get a score on the board, and push from there.
Should be easy for him.
Especially for a lot of these lifters, if it's their first time at a national level event, it can be good to be conservative and just make sure that you're up to standard with national level reffing.
100%, man.
A very convincing squat there from TJ.
That was very speedy.
Refs are saying 2 to 1. He'll just be checking what that was for.
Yeah, it's always good to check with the refs what the red lights are for.
Oftentimes it can be slight technical changes, and you just really want to make that convincing. If there are people watching for the first time, whilst 2 to 1 is a good lift, that means that the jury can then look at it and overturn it if they deem it it's not a good lift. So always best to be on the safe side, get 3 lights if you can. Now we have Samuel coming out 160 as well. Only 10 kilos under his previous squat comp best, and that looked nice and easy.
Nice and solid, yeah.
White lights. First lifter of the afternoon to get a blue on the end of his squat. We have Sofiane coming out for 170 kilos.
Only 5 kgs off his personal best.
Yeah, that is a massive, massive opener. He must have a reason for the confidence. Let's see it. A little bit of a fight there, but it still looked incredibly convincing. However, I think the depth wasn't quite there. Does look like he's got plenty of strength in the tank just to sink that a little bit deeper on his next attempt. Might even see him go up, but
yeah, strength there wasn't an issue.
If he comes back out for the 170 just to get a score on the board, that's also completely understandable. Moving right into 3 reds aside now, we have James for our first 175 of the afternoon. Only 10 kilos under his comp people.
Strong on rack.
And wow, that was fast.
That was very speedy.
2 of the refs liked it. 1 yellow light. Same weight again now for Zach. 175 kilos on the bar. Just making sure the rack height is correct.
You can see he is locked in just on the knee sleeves.
Come on, Zach, let's see it. Very stable walkout. And an incredibly convincing squat.
Very nice.
The refs liked it. 3 white lights. Moving up to 180 kilos. Now we have Liam. Still got 40 seconds, loads of time to get comfortable. And that was
Nice
very
indeed.
fast. He'll be very happy with that.
Yeah.
That's going to set him up very nicely for the rest of the squats.
I like it when lifters use up their time wisely, just
Yeah.
to make sure that they're ready. Especially on a first squat.
Yeah, there's no rush. Make that first one convincing.
Nice and deep too.
Now, our first lifter of the afternoon that's going to get a green plate on top of those reds. We have Zach coming out for 195 kilos. Which is already the same as his previous comp best on his opener. And that deserved to be an opener. Very deep, very quick.
Very nice.
Tiny little sticking point on his way back up, but it looks like he's going to have no issue grinding through that when it gets heavier. And into the 200s now, we have Oliver coming out. This is already 10 kilos above his previous comp best squat. And that was strong.
Waiting on one rep.
Just waiting to see what the call is from one of the refs. 3 white lights.
This training must have been going very well to open up 10 kg above his PB.
We were saying this morning, a lot of these lifters quite new into their training, making progress at a frankly scary rate.
Yeah. This sport just keeps growing.
Next up, and our last opening squat of Flight A, we have Afraz with 210 kilos. This is the same as his previous comp best. And that was solid. Perhaps a little bit slower than he'd like for his first, and that's 2 to 1, not a good lift. I think that was on depth.
Yeah.
The strength absolutely there. He just needs to sink that slightly more.
Just make sure it goes a little bit deeper. Convince the refs.
I'll be interested to see if he repeats the same way or keeps moving up.
Yeah. You never know what a lifter's thinking.
In our second round of squats now, we have Jay coming out for 165 kilos. This is an enormous 15 kilo jump from his opener. And only 2.5 kilos beneath his previous PB.
His opener moved very well, so I don't think there's any doubt. Yeah.
And that looked good. He's happy with it. He's smiling. 2 to 1, that's a good lift. I think maybe just borderline depth from the center ref's perspective. Okay, this is an important squat now. We have Sofian coming out to repeat his 170 kilo miss.
Needs to get this one. Come on now.
His strength is there. Just has to sink it slightly more. Just get a squat on the board and then push your third attempt. Very stable with that walkout. That looked a little bit better from my perspective, but the refs disagree. That's 3 reds. He's going to have to give it everything he
Needs
has
to-
just to get a little bit deeper on that third attempt to make sure he can stay in the competition.
Needs to seriously sink it on the third.
For those who are new to the sport, if you miss all 3 attempts of a single lift, whilst you can come out and do the rest of your lifts, you are no longer part of the competition. You will have bombed out. It's never something we like to see, but at these national level events, it can happen with the stricter refereeing.
Yeah.
Now we have 170 again for Samuel. This will match his comp PB on a second attempt.
Giving him the opportunity to set a new one on his third.
Absolutely. And that looked good. Around about exactly where you want the second attempt to be. Not too easy, not too hard. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, that was very good attempt selection there.
5, definitely there. Maybe even another 7.5.
I think we'll be seeing 3 reds.
Speaking of 3 reds, we have TJ coming out for 175 kilos. Another big 15 kilo jump from his opener. And 10 kilos 10 kilos beneath his previous comp PB. So this should also be very comfortable. He's just here trying to build on his opener. And that looked easy.
That looked just as easy as his opener.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the same jump again. Or at least another 12.5 just to take him above what he's done before. And the bar is loaded for James. Now we have 185 kilos. 10
like
kilo
the
jump. And this will be a PB match.
Ooh,
And PB matches should not look like that. That was rapid.
very, very speedy.
Another 2.5 being added onto the bar now for Zach, who's going to take 187.5 kilos. This will already be a 2.5 kilo PB.
Nice and steady. Excellent score.
That was a very, very nice second attempt. I wouldn't be surprised to see 195.
Yeah.
But we'll see. He and his handler or coach will know better.
Getting close to that 200 kg.
100%. And another 15 kilo jump from the opener now. This is Liam with 195 kilos. Already, if he hits this, 5 kilos more than he's ever squatted in competition before on a second attempt.
A lot of lifters PBing in the second attempts.
Much more common, I find, in the sub-juniors and juniors than in the open class. Normally those PBs are reserved for full effort third attempts, but these lifters are basically just showing us how it's done.
Yeah.
Come on now, Liam.
Oh. Just take your time.
And that was incredibly deep.
Very deep squat.
3 white lights taking full advantage of that stretch reflex at the bottom there.
Very, very fast descent as well.
Yeah, definitely room for more. I think he'll be eyeing that 200. Now we have Oscar coming out for 207.5. Big, big jump from 195 kilos.
This will give him a 12.5 kg PB.
Again, on the second attempt.
fights through it.
That was a very, very good fight. Yeah, it was that same sticking point as his opener. A little bit slower through there, but still another 2.5 or
Maybe
5.
another 2.5, yeah.
He's already shattered his PB, so anything extra he can get is probably worthwhile. Now, our final 2 second attempts, we have Oliver coming out for 210 kilos. This will break his previous best by 20 kilos on his second attempt. Some lifters don't even make 20 kilo total PBs at the end of a competition. A little bit slower, fights through it. The refs liked it, 3 white lights, and that is an enormous PB on his second.
PB'd on his opener and then PB'd on his second again.
I'm not sure if there's too much more left there.
Yeah.
Maybe another 5, perhaps 2.5. And now, having to hit this just to secure his position. I believe it was a depth issue.
Yeah.
He knows the strength's there. He's just got to convince the refs. That looked better from my perspective. That's 2-1 again.
Fortunately, just needs to sink it a little bit more. Strength is not an issue there.
It's absolutely not an issue. Unfortunately, has the good problem of having really massive quads.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit harder to be convincing. So we now have 2 lifters in Flight A that have to hit their 3rd attempts or they will be out of the competition. One of them is now, this is Sofian coming out his 3rd attempt.
Come on,
at
Sofian.
170 kilos.
He knows he has this.
He absolutely has the strength for this. He just needs to get a little bit deeper. Convince the refs. Everyone get behind him now. Come on.
Let's go. That looks very
That
deep
looks
to me.
much better to me. Let's see if the refs agree.
Nice.
They do, and he stays in the competition. Probably not what he wanted from his squats, but it's much better than missing all 3.
100%. And it's a learning curve.
Exactly. A lot of these lifters, this will be their first national level competition. It's their first exposure to this level of refereeing. And he'll learn from this and come back much stronger. Now, taking 3 reds aside, this is Jay with 175 kilos. If he hits this, he'll set a new PB of 7.5 kilos.
He did opt for the 3 reds.
He did opt for 3 reds. And he deserved it. That was a very nice squat.
He'll be happy with that.
He'll be very happy with that. Now coming out for 177.5, taking a 7.5 kilo jump from his second, we have Samuel. He matched his PB on his second. Anything he can get here is all just gains.
Be the icing on the cake.
And he fights through it. That was a good selection.
What a fight.
Very nice 3rd squat there from Samuel. He'll be happy with that. Moving now to 185 kilos, we have TJ. Taking a 10 kilo jump from his second attempt. This will match his comp PB. And matching your comp PB at a national level comp with stricter refereeing than where you set it in the first place is always an achievement.
100%. Come on, let's see it.
And he fights through that sticking point. See if the refs liked it. 2 of them did. That is enough. Well done, TJ.
That's enough, yeah.
And I think that red was also just for soft knees, or perhaps downward motion. But as long as the jury doesn't overturn the good lift, then he can be very, very happy with that.
Indeed.
Taking his second 10-kilo jump of the day, we have James coming out for 195. It's that big milestone, extra green plate in competition.
Adding 10 kilos to his current PB.
Just being told to lock his knees. And it didn't affect him at all.
He
that
did
was
not let that affect him.
Easy third attempt. I've seen slower seconds. You can be very happy with that.
Dare I say 200 was there?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Always good to reserve some strength for bench and deadlift, however.
Exactly.
Now we have Zach. About to squat 200 kilos. 15 kilos heavier than his previous best comp squat. 12.5 kilos heavier from his second attempt.
This is a big milestone for many lifters.
Many lifters. Oh, and not quite there today.
Unlucky.
It was so close, and he's absolutely going to smoke that the next time he steps onto the platform. Still managed to set a 2.5 kilo PB even on his second attempt. Still be very, very happy with that. And I think he'd regret it if he didn't try.
Yeah. That 2.5 PB was good enough for attempting 200. He did it.
Absolutely. And he was so close.
Yeah.
Now, 207.5, we have Liam.
12.5 kilo jump.
And if he hits this, 17.5 kilo PB. That is enormous. And that looked easy. Very, very rapid third attempt there.
I think he could get 4 white lights for his depth there.
Honestly, probably a little bit more on the bar there. But it is a technique that drops off very, very quickly.
Exactly, yeah.
So, definitely a good call. Now, we have Afraz coming out for his third attempt of 210 kilos. He's absolutely smoked this both times. He's just not quite deep enough. He needs to sink this, otherwise he will be out of the competition.
Come on, you've got this.
And that looked much, much better from our perspective. And the refs agree. He stays in the competition. Again, probably frustrated at how his squats have gone. Probably had a lot more to give. But he's still here, and
Then
that's
again,
what
it's
matters.
better than bombing out. Exactly. That means everyone's secured a squat.
We have not had a lift or bomb out in squats. Always a happy place to be going into bench. And now, for the first time this has happened this afternoon, we have an extra blue on the bar. This is 215 kilos for Oscar. 20 kilos heavier than he's ever squatted in competition before. And not quite there today.
Just not there, yeah.
Very, very close. But like we said, those rapid descents and relying on the stretch reflex, it does drop off quite quickly.
High risk, high reward.
Definitely going to smoke that next time, though. Final squat, flight A. We have Oliver coming out for 220 kilos. This will be a 30 kilo comp PB. It's absolutely ridiculous. These young athletes are just showing us exactly how it's done. And it looks strong. Let's see what the refs think about depth. Unfortunately, not quite there.
Just a little bit too high.
Strength, definitely not an issue. As soon as he just manages to sink that slightly more, he's going to be an absolute menace on the squats. Already is.
Already a 20 kg PB.
It's still a massive win.
Yeah.
Moving straight into flight B now. We have Cameron starting us off with 185 kilos.
He's finding the zone right now.
Absolutely. Just waiting for everything to be settled on the platform. The bar is 15 kilos underneath his vest. Nice conservative opener. Get on the board. Very, very good strategy.
Exactly.
Solid walkout there. And a rapid squat.
With ease.
3 white lights.
Next up, we've got Charlie with 192.5 kg.
Come on, Charlie. Only 2.5 kilos underneath his current vest. And he absolutely smokes it.
Should have left in the warm-up room.
Honestly. Next up, first flight B lifter to take 200 kilos for a spin, we have Reese. Has already squatted 215 kilos in competition. Knows he's going to smoke this. Just get himself on the board and push from there.
He's got Mr. Tang handling him today.
Very comfortable walkout.
Wow.
And a very easy squat.
These openers have been very fast.
Very, very fast. I have noticed a shift in the younger classes over the last couple of years. They used to open a lot heavier than they should have been. They seem to have learned. They're all opening much more conservatively and making, frankly, far more mature attempt selections than they used to be.
It's important to secure a first attempt and then
absolutely
build your way up.
Now we have Owen coming out to open with 200 kilos.
Wow.
And that should have also been left in the warm-up room. That was ridiculously fast. And Owen is currently predicted to place 4th, so he's just proving he deserves to be here.
Yeah.
Next up, 205 kilos, we have Ashley.
I'm sure he's going to push his squat a lot more.
Absolutely. He has a lot of kilos to give. And that was rapid.
That was explosive.
2 to 1, not a good lift. Just not quite there on that depth, I think. Yeah, just needs to sink it a little bit deeper.
Good of him to ask the refs as well. Waited
Absolutely.
for an answer.
Always good to clarify. Taking the same weight now, we have Philip, 205 kilos on the bar.
Taking his time. Making sure the setup is perfect. And it paid off. Wow.
That was very fast. 2 to 1, good lift. Center ref not quite convinced on the depth, but you only need 2 of them. Does suffer, of course, from slightly longer femurs.
Yeah.
Does make that front angle a little bit less convincing.
Especially when it's very fast like that.
Absolutely. 212.5 kilos here for Anthony. He squatted 220 before. I imagine he'll be fishing for 4 reds today.
Definitely.
Let's see how this moves. And I think 225 might be there, but we'll have to see what the refs think about depth, because it did look a little shallow. 2 to 1. Strength's absolutely there. Again, just got to convince those refs.
That was a very beautiful squat.
Very, very technically proficient. Just needs to get the tiniest bit deeper. Now 222.5 kilos for Thomas Patton. This is a 7.5 kilo PB
Already.
for his opener. Got that Northern Ireland singlet. Likely has experience on the international stage already. And you can see it, he just looks composed. He's used to this level.
There it is.
And that's why he's a national representative. That was an amazing opening squat. And that is not what a 7.5 kilo PB should look like.
Not at all.
Taking the same weight now, 222.5, we have Sebastian. Now, looking at Sebastian's PBs, he is a monster squatter. He's done 242.5 in competition before. Opening 20 beneath that. Sensible, get a score on the board, and then absolutely push from there.
I've seen his lifts on the old Instagram, and he's been having a good training block.
It's always nice to see these peaks pay off. Confident walkout. Very, very quick squat. Let's see if the refs like the depth. They do not.
It's just a bit high.
It's that same again. It's just slightly too high. He does not have far to go, and he knows that the strength is there.
Strength is not an issue at all.
If anything, loading more might help push him into the floor.
Exactly, yeah.
And now, opening on 230 kilos, we have Jay.
Not just a monster squat, 172.5 opener for bench.
I've had the pleasure of spotting this guy before in his training. He's going to do something ridiculous today.
Let's see it, man. Looks focused.
A little bit slow for an opener, but technically incredibly proficient. I know that he's very good at grinding as well.
He loved that
He'll
one.
be happy with that.
Sometimes lifters might be slow lifters, but
Yeah,
as long as it feels smooth to them,
doesn't mean they can't get it. And our final opening squat of Flight B, we have Adam, 237.5. Another Northern Ireland international representative. This will be 2.5 kilos beneath his current best. Very used to the international and national level standards. Technique should not be an issue here. Depth should not be an issue here. Just making sure we've got the right rack height. And here he comes. Explosive unrack. And an explosive squat. Let's see if the refs like it. They do.
nice.
2.5 kilos under your PB on an opener. Like that, he's got a lot to give today.
Yeah, he dominated the bar as soon as he unracked it.
Cameron coming back out to kick off our second set of squats in this Flight B with 195 kilos. Only 5 kilos beneath his current PB. He'll be looking to make this move in a way that he knows he can come out and smash that on his third attempt.
Sets him up nicely.
And that looked nice. That was a good second attempt. 2-to-1 depth, but again, you only need 2 of them. I wouldn't be surprised to see plus 7.5 for the PB there.
It was nice and smooth.
Ashley needs to hit this now.
Retaking 205. Again, strength wasn't an issue.
Not an issue at all. Just got to convince those refs, make sure you're safe. That looked better to me. Let's see if the refs agree. 2-to-1. Unless the jury overturns it, he is now secure in the competition.
He will be safe for now, yes.
Just making sure the bar is secure. Coming out for another big powerlifting milestone is 205 in competition. Lets you get that yellow plate on top of the reds.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
It is.
Come on, Charlie.
Very deep, very strong. I don't think they're gonna have any fault with that. No. 3 white lights.
He can push that squat even more.
210 minimum. Now we have another lifter coming back on who needs to secure this squat. Again, it's a depth thing, not a strength thing. Just got to convince those judges.
He's got this.
Come on, Anthony.
Looks good to me.
Very solid looking squat. The
looks
refs
good.
agree. He is safe.
What would you do in this scenario? Would you go for your planned second or push for your third?
That I missed the first attempt?
Yeah.
I'd probably aim somewhere between my set plan second and third. But when it moves that easy, I might just go for the third, regardless.
Be thinking a lot of questions.
Depends how confident you are with the bigger jumps. Now we have Owen. 215. Get that blue on the bar. That looks solid. The refs agree.
Nice.
Great second attempt.
Matches his personal best.
I think we'll see 220 there.
I think so too.
Now with an absolutely monster 17.5 kilo jump, we have Reese coming out for 217.5. If he hits this, we'll set him up incredibly well for 225, which is obviously a massive milestone for all these lifters, 4 reds in competition. Even this will be a 2.5 kilo comp PB.
Let's see it, Reese. Come on.
And that looked quite easy to me. The refs liked it.
Very smooth squat.
I would say he has more than 225, but I'd also say that they're just going to secure those 4 reds.
Do you take the risk, or do you secure the 4 reds?
I think the 4 reds will probably be there. We'll see in a moment. And now Philip, 15 kilo jump from his opener, taking 220. This will already be a 5 kilo comp PB. Using his time well, making sure he's comfortable. Tiny little sticking. Oh,
Good job from the spotters and loaders.
good job, spotters and loaders. As always, thank you to our spotters and loaders for keeping our athletes safe. Without them, they wouldn't be able to push this hard. What would you do there? Would you go up because you know the strength is there? Or would you retake that and secure PB?
Knowing me, I would probably retake that.
I think so too. And now, going up 10 kilos from his missed first attempt on depth, we have Sebastian coming out for 232.5.
His first attempt was so fast.
Maybe, like we said, the extra weight just might help push him into that hole, convince the judges a little bit more of the depth. The strength is absolutely not an issue here.
Dominating that bar.
He knows he has this. That was insanely quick. And he gets 3 white lights. He's safe.
Even he shook his head at the end.
He knew that was easy. Only 10 kilos away from his previous best. best. I think he'll try and beat it.
I think he will too.
Next up, Jay is coming out, 7.5 kilo jump, 237.5.
Bringing the hype.
I think he'll be looking to crush this.
Yeah.
And then maybe set up that 245, but we'll see. This will already be a 5 kilo comp PB. And that was smooth.
That was smooth.
Very nice fight through that sticking point. Already hit a big PB.
Yeah, he's happy with that.
And I think he's going to be setting it for 242.5. Probably the more sensible decision than the 245. And now breaking us into the 240s. Thomas Patton taking a 17.5 kilo jump from his opener.
Already smoking his current PB.
Yeah. And that is, ooh, so close. Good catch from the spotters. That fight through that sticking point was very nearly there.
Yeah, I thought he had it.
I think he might be able to channel that energy and come back and smash that on his third attempt.
Let's hope for that.
And now, massive second squat. 250 kilos for Adam. This is already 10 kilos clear of his comp PB.
Fights through it.
Very good fight. Unfortunately, the refs are calling it for depth. It's 2-1, not a good lift. I think this will be another third attempt. Also, maybe a bit of downward movement there.
Maybe, yeah. It was an impressive fight.
Very impressive fight. And now, third attempts of flight B. We have Cameron coming out 202.5. He's loaded what he needs to beat his previous best of 200. He's thanking the spotters.
I like when I see that.
Absolutely. Come on, Cameron, let's see it.
Powerlifting for Henry, 245 kilos. Let's see it.
And he fights through that
Wow.
quite easily, actually. Let's see what they think. 2-1, that is a good lift. Congratulations on the new PB.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was easier than his second.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the difference that adrenaline can make. 100%. And now with another 10 kilo jump, we have Charlie coming out for 215, getting that red, blue milestone. This will be 20 kilos clear of his previous best. Confident walkout.
Fights through it.
Very good third attempt there. And the refs agree. Massive 20 kilo PB. He'll be very happy with that.
That was great attempt selection there.
And now, after missing 205 for his first attempt on depth, and fixing on his second. We're jumping 15 kilos for Ashley to 220. This will be a 10 kilo squat PB.
And he's pumped up for this.
And he fights through it. Let's see what the refs think about the depth.
Excellent fight.
Unfortunately, not quite deep enough. The strength was there. He just needed to sink it that little bit more. He can still be very proud that he's here today and has made it through the squats and can continue to compete. Next up, adding 7.5 kilos to his second squat, we have Owen coming out for 222.5. And this is what I mean about that restraint, because if that was me, I'd be loading 4 reds. But he's more mature than I am, and he's making sensible decisions.
Yeah, he's got.
Come on, bitch!
Getting support from the crowd.
Come on!
Very deep, very strong,
What a
good,
fight.
good fight. I think the refs will be happy with that. And they are.
That self-control to stop him from loading 4 reds, I think
Yeah.
that was an amazing call.
That was the perfect third attempt. 2.5 more could have been disastrous, but he took that 7.5.
He'll be very happy.
And he earned it. And now, getting 4 reds on the bar, plus a little bit. 227.5 for Reese. This is 12.5 kilos more than his previous best, and 10 kilos more than his second attempt today. And again,
What a lovely fight.
brilliant third attempt selection. He'll be very, very happy with that. And he knows he has more to give in the future.
Saves a bit of energy going into bench and deadlifts.
Absolutely. In terms of a competitive standpoint, it can be quite sensible to hit 2.5 less than you actually can on squats, and that might get you an extra 10 on deadlifts. That effort difference, it can really make a massive amount of difference when it comes to that final pull on how much you've got left in the tank. Now, missed 220 on depth.
Opted to go up 7.5.
Yep.
Will it pay off? Let's go.
And it definitely did pay off. That was a fantastic squat. I've seen harder second attempts. Very, very nicely done. Now, the same way, 227.5, Anthony. This will be a 7.5 kilo PB. And a 15 kilo jump from his second attempt. But we know the strength hasn't been an issue.
Make it move.
And he made it move. Let's see what the refs think. 2-1, that is a good lift. That is enough. Yet again, pretty much on the money, third attempt selection.
Yeah. I've actually been very impressed with all these third attempts.
Absolutely. Now, taking 240 kilos again. Just seemed like a bit of a misgroove last time. It was 50-50 if he ground through it. Hopefully with this hype behind him now, he's going to show us that he's earned this number.
100%. Come on, let's get revenge on that 240.
Wow, what was that?
Wow.
3 white lights. That looked like an opener.
I think his second was a misgroove.
Absolutely. He deserved that weight.
Yeah.
That was ridiculously quick.
Still took a sensible decision to keep it at 240.
Absolutely. Absolutely a sensible decision. And now Jay coming up 242.5. This will be a 10 kilo PB. Thanking all the spotters that he knows going to keep him safe as he absolutely pushes this.
100%.
Gets himself hyped up. He knows that if he just doesn't stop grinding, it's going to move.
Come on, Jaden, fight through it. And he fights.
Fantastic grind, but it's just not quite there. That was so close to going.
Very good effort.
Still be happy with his 5 kilo comp PB.
It was moving.
It was moving. Now, Adam coming out to repeat his 250 kilos. If I remember, this was just a depth pull.
He knows what he needs to do.
Come on, Adam.
Let's go, Adam! Everything! Come on!
And he grinds it up. What do the refs think?
Makes easy work of it.
Unfortunately, that's 2-1 to depth again. But like we said earlier, all of our lifters made it through. All of them have at least one squat. They can all move on to bench.
It's always lovely to see.
Absolutely.
Squats are done now.
Final squat. We have Sebastian coming out for 250. This will be 7.5 more than he's ever squatted in competition before. Again, not had any strength issues yet. That first attempt was just a depth problem, which he fixed for his second. See if he can keep that energy.
A 1/4 of a ton.
Absolutely massive milestone. And he earns it.
He earns it.
Unfortunately, that is 2-1, not a good lift on depth.
Runs to the jury.
I imagine, yes, they're going to be having a look at that. The jury are thinking about it now. I'm seeing some nods. And they've overturned it. It is a good lift.
It's always important to go and ask the jury.
Absolutely. Especially when it matters just this much. If you are 2-1, bad lift, you can always ask the jury to have a look at it. And if they agree, they will overturn the lift. I apologize for any foul language you might have just heard on the stream.
A lot of energy.
That brings us to the end of the second session squats. We'll be back with bench in around about 10 minutes. Thank you again to our sponsors, Alico, ESN, Avancas, and SBD. And thank you to our wonderful venue, The Hangar in Wolverhampton. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative new high-grade neoprene offers enhanced second skin compression that molds to the joint all the way through the range of motion. No gapping during flexion means that the knee joint is supported consistently all the way through the lift, helping lifters maintain form and bar speed as they approach maximal attempts. Heavyweight linings, edging and seams, and abrasion-resistant outers that are designed to withstand even the most aggressive fitting make the 7mm knee sleeve the most robust sleeves in SBD's product portfolio. Engineered in Great Britain to SBD's exacting standards, each sleeve is carefully scrutinized by a team of highly trained quality control personnel and comes as standard with SBD's antimicrobial technology and a 1-year warranty. Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative
And we are back with 30 seconds to go until the Flight A bench begins this afternoon on 93 kilo sub-juniors. Thank you again to our sponsors, Avancus, Lico, ESN and SBD. We're here in the hangar in Wolverhampton on the third day of the British Classic Sub-Junior and Junior Championships. It's been an amazing weekend so far, and the Sub-Juniors are finishing off nicely. Starting us off with 105 kilos in Flight A, we have Oscar. Only 2.5 kilos under his previous comp PB.
Looks confident.
Very smooth opener. Good job waiting for all of his commands. If you're new to powerlifting, there are 3 commands for a bench press. A start command, a press command, and a rack command. If you miss any of them, you will not get the lift. Next up, Sofian with 115 kilos. Big bench milestone. You get a red and a blue on there. Again, only 5 kilos under his previous best.
115 for the next 3 lifters opening.
The spotters are like that. Not much work to do. Lots of time, get that arch set up. And that looked comfortable. Very white lights. Same weight again, 115 kilos for TJ. Looks like a big bencher with a previous best of 130.
Nice.
And that is a nice deep bench. Never going to have any depth concerns there. Same weight again. 115 kilos on the bar for Zach. Also only 5 kilos under his comp PB. Let's go, Zach. Very comfortable opener there. If you're wondering why some of the lifters have to hold it at the top for longer, the center ref cannot give a start command until both side refs lower their arm. They're looking for a couple of things. Locked out elbows, feet on the floor, and bum in contact with the bench.
Once all of those are seen, then the start command.
117 here for James.
Makes it fly.
Looks really nice and easy. And the refs agree. 117 again. Here, Samuel.
Setting up that arch nicely.
Very nice opener. The lifters can choose between a self-unrack or a lift-off from the center spotter. There are benefits and disadvantages to both, so it just depends on preference. Here we have Jay coming out to open on 120 kilos. This will match his competition best
Already.
Unfortunately, just the wrong rack height, I believe. This will not affect his timer. If his time runs out, this is not his fault. So he will be allowed a full stretch of time to complete this lift, even if the timer ticks to 0.
I reckon you'll still have it in time.
Honestly, yeah. You must receive, under normal circumstances, the start command before the timer hits 0.
Wow.
And that was a very rapid opener.
These openers have all been very fast.
Yeah, he definitely didn't let that little mishap get in his head. And now, with a big opening bench press, we have Oliver coming up with 132.5 kilos. This is a match of his previous comp best. We often see a lot of PBs in junior and sub-junior benches, and early in their training age, his bench has a lot of room for improvement in technical proficiency.
I would say that.
and that was incredibly quick for what is supposed to be his previous comp PB. He will be demolishing that today.
Would you argue bench is the most technical lift?
Absolutely. If I were to try to put them in order, I would say bench, and then sumo deadlift, and then squat, and then conventional deadlift.
I really like the fact that you separated both deadlifts there.
Here we have 135 kilos for Liam. This is also a matched comp PB, handling himself very professionally, telling the center spotter exactly how he'd like his lift off, trying to minimize those variables.
Yep.
Still got 25 seconds to get a start command. First bencher of the flight that we've seen with a much more aggressive press, and it absolutely seems to work for him. 3 white lights, matched his PB on his opener. Be very happy with that.
Looked quite smooth.
And now, our last opener of the flight, we have a Fraz with 140 kilos.
Is that a 40 kg PB?
This is a 40 kilo competition bench PB. When it gets to that kind of number, I almost wonder if his QT competition was sandbagged.
Yeah, just to qualify.
And he just did what he needed, because that
Making
is
it move like that.
absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
That should have been left in the warm-up room.
Speechless, honestly.
Definitely not bringing in and letting his bit of a rough time in squats affect his bench. He's come out and he's looking to prove a point.
Yeah, just casually open up with 40 kgs above his personal best.
Absolutely,
and RPE6.
absolutely ridiculous benching there. Now, starting off our second set of benching for Flight A, we have Oscar coming out with 110 kilos. Nice and conservative +5 on his opener. This will give him a nice 2.5 kilo bench PB.
Very nice.
And I think he should have maybe done a little bit more. I don't know if he's going to take a bigger jump this time or if he's just going to go for that 115, but he looks like he's got a lot left to give.
The 115 is definitely there.
Absolutely. Now taking a 7.5 kilo jump, Sofian, 122.5 kilos. This will be a 2.5 kilo bench PB.
Seems nice and calm.
Absolutely.
Ooh, just clips.
Just clips the hook
Still
there.
makes it move.
Still makes it move. And that can be the issue with that self-unrack, is you don't clear it quite as much. The advantages of the self-unrack being it's a lot more consistent. You don't have to rely on telling the spotter how you'd like your lift off, and you can often get your start command a lot quicker. But that can be the problem with it. Here we've got Zach with 122.5. This will be a 2.5 kilo bench PB. Nice and steady.
I'll look for you on the board.
Gets it where he wants it. Held there at the top for quite a long time, but he still manages to make it move.
Didn't phase him one bit.
Nice, tidy 2.5 kilo PB. Gonna set him up for, I think, at least 5 more.
Yeah.
Now we've got James coming out. 125 kilos. Two reds aside. This will match his comp PB. Getting a lot of support from the crowd. Family and friends here to support him.
It's always nice to see.
Absolutely. Come on, James. And he does it with ease. Only the tiniest of sticking points there. I would be happy with another 5 on that.
Yeah, I think 130 plus is there.
TJ back here with a 10 kilo jump to 125. This is 5 kilos beneath his personal best. He'll be setting up for that PB on his 3rd attempt.
His opener moved very well.
It did. Sticking point there, he fights through it. I'm not sure if there was any downward motion. The refs like it 2-1.
He did fight through it.
Absolutely.
Also opted to bench without wrist wraps.
Yeah, becoming more and more common these days.
Yeah.
You've got Samuel, another lifter, taking 125 for his 2nd attempt. Only 2.5 kilos beneath his previous best. This is arch set. Very strong. Quick 2nd attempt. Another lifter will try for that 30.
Yeah. Soft touch on the chest as well.
Yeah. Really keeps that tension in there.
Often gets you a very fast press command.
Yeah. Here we've got Jay, 127.5. He matched his comp BB of 120 on his first lift, and now he's just looking to extend that. Another lifter with no wrist wraps. And that was a very quick 2nd attempt. Honestly,
Everything about that was quick.
132, maybe even 135. And now, Oliver coming out 140 kilos. This is a 7.5 PB. He matched that PB on his opener, and it looked easy. Very energetic lifter.
Come on, make it fly, Oliver. 140 big kgs.
Wow, and that just was easy. At least minimum 145. Definitely has more, but obviously that's that big milestone of red, green. But he definitely has more than that. I wouldn't even be surprised if he loaded 150.
I wouldn't either.
And now 142.5 for Liam, taking a 7.5 kilo jump. Again, another lifter that matched his comp PB on his opener. Comfortably. Does have one of the longer setups of the flight. Absolutely fine as long as nothing goes wrong.
Yep. Seems to work for him.
And that was almost as quick as the first one. A little bit of that sticking point, but he's going to be able to get through that. Yeah. So wouldn't be surprised at 150 there.
Yeah, yeah.
Again though, this technique breaks down quite quickly at that top end, so we'll have to see. Maybe 147's a more sensible call. He and his handler will know best. Now for an absolutely monster 2nd attempt. Afra's coming out for 155. If this is anything like his opener, this is going to look like an opener. And I still can't quite believe that I'm saying that if he gets this, it'll be a 55 kilo comp PB.
That's a 55% increase.
That's ridiculous.
That is. And he gets it with ease.
That was somewhere between a hard opener and an easy second. Not going to be surprised if he loads 165, gets that blue on there.
Gets that blue. I think he deserves it.
I think that's what he's looking for. And not a single one of our benchers has missed a bench so far. That is very, very unheard of. The most technical of the lifts.
Very impressive. Clearly they've learnt from squats.
Evidently. Here's Oscar with that extra 5 kilo jump, taking him to 115. He's got the red and the blue on the bar. This will be a 7.5 kilo PB. And he earns it. He should be very, very happy with that, and he knows he's got room for more. TJ only adding 2.5 kilos because he's being sensible. He knows that his 125 was probably a little bit harder than he liked it to be.
Yeah.
And now he's just trying to gain every kilo he can instead of being reckless. I really like to see this type of maturity in attempt selections.
Exactly.
Let's see if it pays off.
He needs to fight through it.
Nice. And that is very nicely done. Honestly, he should be very happy with that decision. If you got that extra 2.5 kilos, just every kilo counts. You got to build that subtotal.
That was smoother than a second.
I'd agree.
The second had quite a few.
Yeah, he cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Now, 127 kilos for Zach. This will be a 7.5 kilo comp PB. He already broke that with 122 on his second attempt. And now he's looking to add another 5. And there's that rapid press command because he has such a nice soft touch. That is a fantastic third attempt. Nice 7.5 kilo PB. He should be very happy with that.
Keeps tension really well.
Absolutely. Now, Sofian adding 7.5 kilos to his second attempt to come out and hit 130 kilos. This will be a 10 kilo PB.
Just getting nice and comfortable.
And unfortunately not quite there today. Still be happy with his 2.5 kilo bench PB on his second attempt.
100%. He also had to make sure his elbows were fully locked out before he got the
Absolutely.
start command.
Here we have James, 130 kilos. This will be a 5 kilo PB. And so it is.
Makes it fly.
Very nice third attempt. Definitely got room in the tank for the next time he competes. Yeah. He knows exactly how hard he can push it. And now, Samuel, 130 kilos. 5 kilos up from his second attempt. This will be a 2.5 kilo comp PB. Takes his time, sets his arch. Very nice third attempt.
That was smooth.
Very well selected. Next up, 4 benches left. We have Jay with 132.5. This will be a 12.5 kilo comp PB. 5 kilos heavier than his second attempt. Come on now, Jay. He gets himself nice and set up. And he fights it,
Jay making
and it
easy
looks
work.
good to me. And the refs, 3 white lights.
Yeah, he's happy with that.
Our last 3 benches of flight A. Oliver adding 5 kilos to his second attempt. He's come out and he wants to hit that 145 milestone.
Yeah.
Through 2 reds and a green on the bar. This will be a 12.5 kilo comp PB.
The way 140 moved, this shouldn't be any different.
Absolutely. We thought he'd try for 150.
Yeah.
That's how comfortable it was. And it looks
Very
good.
nice.
Good decision though. Very, very nice bench.
Perfect decision. And he's happy with that. Look at him.
As he should be.
Smiling.
Last 2 benches now. We have Liam coming out with 147.5. 5 kilos heavier than his second attempt. 12.5 kilos heavier than his best ever comp bench, which he matched on his opener. This is some insane progress. Quite a narrow grip as well.
That is an narrow grip.
Much more about pure, raw strength.
Yeah. Second moved well. Let's see if he can keep tension on the third.
And he fights,
Fights.
but unfortunately he hits the sticking point that is all too common when you have that kind of technique. It drops off a cliff.
Makes you need to fight through that sticking point a lot more. Despite it being very fast off the chest.
Absolutely. Always much quicker off the chest, and then you hit your sticking point a little bit higher up. A technique more commonly seen with the heavier weight classes.
Yeah.
And now 162.5, being more sensible than we would have been.
Way more.
Afraz, 162.5, a 62.5 kilo comp PB.
I don't think I've ever total PB'd that much.
No. And he fights, he fights, he grinds.
The right.
Is he pushing through?
Wow.
Let's see what the refs think.
What do the refs think?
The refs like it 2-1. He has sent
It
a
is a good
message to Flight A's benches.
Wow.
And that blue in the middle, that was for downwards movement. But the side ref didn't think so. 2-1, it's a good lift. As long as the jury doesn't overturn it, he's set an absolutely monster record for himself.
The fact that he fought through that and still ended up finishing the lift.
Incredibly impressive. Lots of patience where most people would just give up.
100%.
And now, swiftly into Flight B. We have Philip coming out, 110 kilos for his opener. Only 2.5 underneath his comp best for an opener.
The current British sub-junior bench record is 190 kg.
Absolutely ridiculous. And yet, here we have Jay opening with 167. He might be making a move on it.
You never know.
We'll talk more about that when he comes up. Now we have Philip, 110. Very important to just take these openers nice and conservative.
Exactly.
Get that score on the board, build from there. And that was very fast.
Too fast.
Perhaps too fast. Basically tempoed it to his chest, which means you're always going to get the quickest of start commands because they can see the exact moment it stops. Refs love to ref that kind of bench. And now 112.
For Cameron.
Nice. Unrack.
Makes very
That
easy work of that.
was ridiculous. That's going to set him up very nicely. And you can see he's smiling as he leaves the platform.
Does a little spin.
Next up, 122.5 for Reese. This matches his best comp bench. Very, very quick opener, I believe, held there at the top for his elbows.
Yeah. Just had to lock them out.
Same weight again, 122.5 for Thomas. This is 5 kilos heavier than his previous comp best. Being told to re-rack, I believe that was for his elbows.
Still got 24 seconds.
And this is where having a quicker setup is important, because if there were only 5 seconds left when that happened, he wouldn't be getting this lift. And a very comfortable opener. That is not how a 5 kilo PB should move. And now in Flight B, the first lifter taking us past the 2 reds, we have Sebastian with 135 kilos. Come on now, Sebastian.
Let's make this fly.
That was very, very quick.
Easy.
2 to 1. I think that was a depth issue for the centre ref, but the 2 side refs both think it was good. Bar is loaded for Ashley, 142.5. Previous record of 136, which means he must be at least a regional record holder, as you can only load in smaller increments than 2.5 if you are breaking a record. And he's just smashed that record of his own. Very, very quick opener there for 142.5. Next up, we have Owen lifting 150 kilos for his opener. This is a weight that most people that go to the gym will never touch in their life.
Yeah, it needs a lot of practice.
Absolutely. He's about to take this weight 7.5 kilos under his comp best and prove to himself and his handler that he deserves to set PBs today. Come on, Owen. And that was absolutely ridiculously fast. And the refs all like it. 3 white lights.
Owen showing us how it's done.
Stop. Next up, we have Adam with 150 kilos. Also, only 7.5 kilos underneath his comp best. And that was another very, very quick press from Adam.
Very fast.
Three more openers to go. We have Charlie coming out for 152.5 kilos. This will match his comp PB.
Charlie's looking ready.
Come on, Charlie. And that was fast.
Moved more like a last warm-up.
Honestly, yeah. And that's the most he's ever pressed in competition.
Wow. Next up is Anthony, and he's weighing in quite low at 86 kg.
Absolutely. But if they can compete like that, and it's a good thing to not have to cut down for these competitions.
Means he also has a lot of room to grow in the class.
Absolutely. Lots of room to fill out his class. This is only 7.5 kilos shy of his best competition bench press. And that was nice.
Very nice.
And now, opening with an absolutely monster 167.5 kilos, we have Jay, the current 93 kilo sub-junior British bench champion, winning 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
With, I believe it was 172.5 for his third attempt. I imagine he's fishing for 175 today. Get those 3 reds.
I think he is, especially opening up 167.
Yeah. 6 weeks ago, he opened with 165. So if he can add 2.5 to each of those lifts, he's there.
100%.
Very confident bencher. And that was nice. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
I think he's going to be happy with that. I think he's going to go +5 and then see what's there.
Yeah.
+5 to match his winning bench from 6 weeks ago. The current reigning British sub-junior 93 kilo bencher in the country. And yes, he's put in for 172.5 for his second attempt. Now kicking us off, we have Cameron adding 7.5 to go to 120 kilos. Only 2.5 kilos shy of his competition best.
His opener flew, so...
Absolutely did. Come on, Cameron. little bit
easy work.
slower, but still very, very smooth with room for more. I think we'll see 125 there.
2 reds. I think 2 reds there.
Now, also taking 120 kilos, we have Philip going up 10 kilos from his opener. And yeah, Cameron's just putting for 125. Okay. Now this is already 7.5 kilos better than he's ever benched in comp before. I imagine he'll also be fishing for that 2 red milestone bench.
Let's make this move.
Come on, Philip. And that was oh, very, very fast bench.
Very fast.
Unfortunately, just a little bit of a mishap at the top there. Whether he wants to play it safe and take that again, or if he wants to move up, because the strength is absolutely there.
I think he unfortunately clipped.
And again, that major mishap that can happen with these cell-phone racks. You're not as far away from the hooks, and if you have a relatively non-linear pattern, which you should, you can risk contacting them.
I think he's still good for 2 reds.
I'd agree. Here we have Reese, 130 kilos, 7.5 kilo PB if he hits this. And that was quick. Very, very light work for Reese. I think we'll see 135.
Yeah.
Thomas coming out for 130 kilos. He already beat his 117 record on his opener, and now he's looking to add another 7.5.
Nice.
Incredibly easy.
Even his handler's shocked.
135, maybe even 137.
Getting very close to that 140.
Speaking of, here's Sebastian coming out for 142.5. Only 2.5 kilos shy of his 145 best. He'll want to move this nice and easy and set himself up to break his own personal best.
It's well in reach.
Very technically proficient bench. Unfortunately, 2-to-1 on elbow depth, just not quite deep enough. Some would say too technically proficient.
Yeah. I believe he got 1 elbow depth call on his open
From the center ref last time. However, the side ref probably saw that the center ref didn't like it and has maybe paid a little bit more attention.
Just need to convince them.
The strength is there. He's repeating that next time. Now with 147.5, we have Ashley, previous record holder in a regional competition with 136. He demolished that on his opener and is looking to extend that now. Amazing fight. I'm not sure if they're going to call downward motion. They are. That is very, very unfortunate. And again, it speaks to the rapid drop-off with this technique.
Almost
I
had
believe
to.
he'll reattempt that,
Yeah.
and hopefully he can just manage to force his way through on the 3rd attempt.
I think he maybe lost balance.
I think it might have been a bit of a misgroove for him. It looked like he was trying to get it off his chest as quickly as he could.
Yeah.
Now, 155 kilos. Red, yellow collar. Still 2.5 under his PB. He's looking to set himself up well for his third. And he's done just that.
It's easy work of 155.
We'll see 160 there.
I think so. 5 kg jump and then another 5 kg jump.
Yeah.
Seems sensible.
Now, 155 again for Adam. 5 heavier than his opener. 2.5 lighter than his PB. Fights it, but unfortunately, just not quite there. I'm not sure if he lost a bit of position there with the bar drifting back towards his face. It's never a good position to be in to try and fight through. Maybe he can maintain position and just grind it on his third attempt.
Come back out for it again.
Now we have 160 kilos for Anthony.
Matching his best.
Match his best. Come on now. Very good fight. Not sure how much more is there. I imagine we'll see a plus 2.5. I think so.
He's going to need a lot of self-control.
Absolutely. But every kilo matters. Here we go, Charlie. 162.5. This will be a 10 kilo PB. He matched that on his opener, and it was ridiculously
Very
easy.
fast.
Let's see if he can keep that speed. That was a very strong second.
Very strong second.
I think we'll see a 170 there.
Potentially.
And now, Jay coming out for our final second attempt. 172.5 kilos. This will match his third winning attempt from British bench 6 weeks ago.
Let's see it, Jaden.
Knows he's by far the strongest 93 sub-junior bencher. Just competing against himself here. And that was quick.
That was better than his opener.
That was better than his opener. That was better than it was at bench 6 weeks ago. Now the real question is, does he just go for the 175 or does he risk it and go even more?
At least the next one up is 3 reds regardless.
Yeah.
Opted to go with 177.
177, he's gone +5. Okay, and kicking off our third attempts, we have Cameron jumping 5 kilos to that 125 milestone. This will be a tidy little 2.5 kilo bench PB. And he earns it. Very good bench, Cameron. Happy with that.
Yeah.
As he should be.
Philip coming up for 125 kilos. Clip the bar
Yeah.
on 120.
He knows the strength is there. The 120 itself was fast. Just needs to finish that top position and not clip the hooks. You can see now how close he is. And he makes it work.
Makes it work.
3 white lights, 125 kilos, 12.5 kilo PB. He'll be very, very happy with that.
Very solid benching.
You can see on the replay just how close it came to happening again. But it didn't, and that's what counts. Now here, with 135, we have Reese. His previous best was 122.5. He smashed that and matched it on his opener.
Yeah.
And he's just been adding weight since.
Adding and adding.
And he deserves to keep adding.
Very solid.
Clearly. Very, very solid third attempt.
Nods.
Thomas adding 5 to his second attempt of 130. Going to take 135 kilos now. He was 5 kilos ahead of his PB on his opener. He's just looking to extend that as much as he can. And he does so very nicely.
Very nice.
3 white lights, more in the tank. He'll be happy with that.
He knows he had
Come on, Sebastian. He's repeating his 142.5.
getting a lot of support.
Everyone wants him to hit this.
Just needs to convince the refs.
Come on now. Up, he drives it.
Makes it move.
Brilliant fight. What do the refs
Through
think?
it all.
2 to 1, that is a good lift.
Just enough.
Very, very good fight there. Now also repeating. His last weight. We have 147.5 for Ashley. Just needs to try and fight through that sticking point. This will be almost a 10 kilo PB.
I think you've got this. I think he's got this.
Come on, Ashley. And what was that?
Wow. Just wow.
Ridiculously quick.
Even he's shocked.
He's shocked at how that moved. And perhaps a little disappointed it wasn't his second and he could go further. Because there is more in the tank there.
Such a fast descent.
Yeah. Now, another athlete repeating his second attempt for his third. We have Adam taking 155 kilos. Now, Adam is predicted in second place, so every 5 kilos matters in that podium battle, which is probably why he's not gone up
Yeah.
further.
I think it's the smart move.
And it's up. What do the refs think? 2 to 1, that is a good lift.
That is good. And he is happy.
Absolutely. had that same drift towards his face.
Yeah.
But he controlled it a little bit better this
Exactly.
time and fought through it.
Managed to keep it under control.
Last 4 benches of the afternoon now. We have Owen, 160 kilos, 2.5 kilo PB, 5 kilos heavier than his second attempt.
Currently forecasted 4th.
Yeah. And there really isn't much in it either.
Yeah. Pushes.
Fights through it.
Keeps pushing.
3 white lights, and he adds that to his subtotal.
Nice. 160 is a huge bench.
Huge, huge bench. Final 3 benches now. 162.5. Just adding that 2.5 from his second attempt, like we predicted. Also, we'll give him a 2.5 kilo comp PB. Currently in 4th place. He knows he needs every kilo to stay in that top 5. And it's just not quite there. At least he gave it a shot.
Took everything he had on the day.
If there's going to be a lift to fail, it's bench.
Yeah.
Failing a squat normally sets you up with far too much fatigue. But that shouldn't, hopefully, affect his deadlifts too negatively. Hopefully. Now, penultimate bench of the morning, we have Charlie coming out with 167.5. Quite conservative considering the speed at which he moved 162. Yeah. This will be a 15 kilo comp PB. And just not quite there, unfortunately.
A little bit of downward motion and then push up.
Even if he managed to fight through that, but still, very, very impressed with himself. Still set 10 kilo PB. And now Jay.
Closing off bench.
By far the heaviest bencher in the 93 subterraneans. To break his own competition record set 6 weeks ago at British Bench Nationals, which he won with.
Everyone's getting behind him now.
177.5. More than 3 reds on the bar.
Come on, Jaden.
Let's see it now. And he fights, and he fights.
Wow. Deserved.
And the refs say 3 white lights. He will be very,
deserved.
very happy with that, as he should be. Incredibly strong bencher with an incredibly bright future. And that brings an end to our benching for the afternoon. Thank you again to our sponsors, Avancus, Alico, ESN, and SBD. We're here at the Hangar in Wolverhampton, and we will see you shortly for deadlifts.
Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative new high-grade neoprene offers enhanced second skin compression that molds to the joint all the way through the range of motion. No gapping during flexion means that the knee joint is supported consistently all the way through the lift, helping lifters maintain form and bar speed as they approach maximal attempts. Heavyweight linings, edging and seams, and abrasion-resistant outers that are designed to withstand even the most aggressive fitting make the 7mm knee sleeve the most robust sleeves in SBD's product portfolio. Engineered in Great Britain to SBD's exacting standards, each sleeve is carefully scrutinized by a team of highly trained quality control personnel and comes as standard with SBD's antimicrobial technology and a 1-year warranty. Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative new high-grade neoprene offers enhanced second skin compression that molds to the joint all the way through the range of motion. No gapping during flexion means that the knee joint is supported consistently all the way through the lift, helping lifters maintain form and bar speed as they approach maximal attempts. Heavyweight linings, edging and seams, and abrasion-resistant outers that are designed to withstand even the most aggressive fitting make the 7mm knee sleeve the most robust sleeves in SBD's product portfolio. Engineered in Great Britain to SBD's exacting standards, each sleeve is carefully scrutinized by a team of highly trained quality control personnel and comes as standard with SBD's antimicrobial technology and a 1-year warranty. Manufactured exclusively in Great Britain at SBD's state-of-the-art facility, these new 7mm powerlifting knee sleeves have been designed for competitive powerlifters that need the maximum possible support from their sleeves. An innovative new high-grade neoprene offers enhanced second skin compression that molds to the joint all the way through the range of motion. No gapping during flexion means that the knee joint is supported consistently all the way through the lift, helping lifters maintain form and bar speed as they approach maximal attempts. Heavyweight linings, edging and seams, and abrasion-resistant outers that are designed to withstand even the most aggressive fitting make the 7mm knee sleeve the most robust sleeves in SBD's product portfolio. Engineered in Great Britain to SBD's exacting standards, each sleeve is carefully scrutinized by a team of highly trained quality control personnel and comes as standard with SBD's antimicrobial technology and a 1-year warranty.
And we are back with the Flight A deadlifts of the afternoon of our 93 kilo sub-juniors. Just take a moment to thank our sponsors again, Alico, ESN, Avancus and SBD, without which it wouldn't be possible to put on an event like this.
Thank you all.
Platform, we're just making sure everything is fine before we kick this off. It's going to be Zach starting us off with 177.5 kilos. Just waiting for the refs to be happy. And we are off. Zach with 177.5 kilos to kick off the afternoon deadlifts.
Let's see it.
Rapid off the floor, strong conventional pull there from Zach. Just waiting to see what the refs think. And that's 3 white lights.
Good lift.
Next up we have Oscar, 180 kilos. Another conventional puller. And that flew off the ground. Wow. Now adding 7.5 for Samuel, 187.5 kilos. Getting hyped up. Come on. Let's see it. Currently gone 6 for 6, not missed a lift all day. You're looking to continue that.
100%.
Very patient off the floor. Very nice looking sumo pull. As a general rule, sumo pulls are a bit slower off the floor, but if they get past the knees, they're usually good. Whereas conventional, very quick off the floor, and usually a bit of a fight or knockout.
Yeah.
Here we have 190 for James. And that was quick. We talk about slow and quick. That was just quick everywhere.
That was.
Now, Sofian, 197.5 kilos.
He's hyped for this.
Yeah. Big pull to set off his deadlifts.
Wow.
And that was rapid.
Very fast.
Next up, we have Oliver. 200 kilos for his first deadlift.
What a nice number to open with.
Absolutely. Rapid. And the refs like it as well. 3 white lights.
Took his time to set up his hook grip.
Yeah, very nice and patient. Things to watch out for here that aren't obvious fails is soft knees, shoulders behind the bar. If you see a technical cards, that is probably why. The other one, of course, is not controlling the bar to the floor. We see some excited lifters slam it down, and that is not allowed in competition. TJ opening with a strong 200 kilos.
Very strong.
Prefers that rolling start. I'm almost wondering if he has some background in a strongman gym, because a lot of his techniques seem to be leaning more towards that, with the way he benches and the way he's pulling his conventional. If it works, it works.
It works, it works.
Now, 205, 3 reds and a yellow and a collar. We have Jay. That was a very nice pull, and also a textbook example of what we were talking about. Very, very quick off the floor. Slows down 100%. A little bit past the knees, but absolutely not a problem for Jay there.
Pulls the slack out of that bar perfectly.
Here we've got 210 loaded up for Liam. This is only 7.5 beneath his comp PB. Come on, Liam. Cleaning off his shoes, making sure there's no talc on the bottom that could affect his grip. Come on. Big brace. And that flew off the floor.
Very easy.
He'll be very happy with that. And now, an enormous jump up to Afra's opening with a 260 kilo deadlift. This puts him, he's predicted in 3rd.
It's a 60 kg PB.
Yeah. His lifts are all squat, perhaps not as much because of the depth failures earlier, but his lifts are all vastly heavier than his qualifying total for this. And is why, even though he's in Flight A, he's currently predicted 3rd out of all of the 93 juniors. Unfortunately, it looks like he's just had a callus tear there. That is very, very unfortunate to happen on your first lift.
We'll be able to have a closer look here.
Looks like an incredibly strong pull. Now, he's got a couple of options.
He does have a couple of options.
He can either try and resolve that, tape it down, or I've also seen some people just switch to mixed. Obviously not ideal. You've done your entire peak and taper with hook grip, but it can be done. So we'll have to see how he wants to play it, especially considering he is in podium competition, although he may not be pulling again looking at the scoreboard. He may have made the decision to not pull again, but we shall see. The bar just now being cleaned as that callus tear has left a little bit of blood on it. Obviously we need things to be clean and safe for our athletes. Much more commonly seen when people pull the bar up their shins. So that's why there is a little break here.
I think Afraz will not be coming out for his second attempt.
I would imagine so. Incredibly unfortunate if that is how his day ends, considering how it was shaping up to be for him. Can still be very, very happy with what he's achieved. 100%. Now we have 192.5 kilos for Zach. He's jumped 15 kilos. Only 7.5 kilos beneath his personal best. Come on, Zach, let's see it. And
Nice.
that was convincing.
I think 200 plus.
Yeah. I imagine he'll load at least 202 to break his PB.
Yeah.
And I'd say 202 is there. Especially, as you mentioned earlier, conventional, a lot more grindable. Super. And now 200 for Oscar. 20 kilo jump. Only 2.5 kilos under his PB.
Let's see it, Oscar. Nice.
And that was fast. Should be very happy with that. I think we'll see maybe 210. We'll have to see what he decides.
We'll have to see what he's thinking right now.
You never know how hard it felt versus how easy it looked.
Exactly.
202.5 now for James. Only 2.5 kilos underneath his comp PB.
Sets him up perfectly.
And that was quick. However,
Maybe just a bit of downward motion at the end.
I think it might have been his lockout. His hips weren't quite all the way through.
Right.
Just really
From the
need,
side, you could see that.
really need to emphasize that lockout at this national level. Can't leave any room for doubt in the referees' minds. The strength is clearly there.
Yeah, just needs to push those hips.
Very patient off the floor, very quick at lockout. Exactly what you want to see from a patient senior puller. That is 2 for 1. A good lift. Unsure what the blue is for. Potentially a bit of downward motion. That lockout, it did look a little bit unstable. The strength is definitely there. He just needs to really solidify that lockout.
Yeah, just make it very convincing.
Now we've got Sofian with 210 kilos, 5 kilos shy of his PB. Very patient off the floor.
Patient.
Makes that lockout as convincing as he can. 2 to 1, good lift.
That's a good lift. You could just see how patient he is off the floor.
Yeah,
Sticks with the bar.
shaking his head. Not sure if he's too happy with that. But irrespective, a very nice lift. Now we've got TJ jumping 217 kilos. Well, jumping to 217 kilos. That would be a very, very
Only 2.5.
impressive jump.
Only 2.5 kgs below his comp max.
The first one was very quick. Let's see how this moves. And he grinds through that perfectly.
It's just
Slow,
a nice deadlift.
but controlled.
It's a nice deadlift. Again, opting for the roll start.
Moving up to 220 kilos now. 20 kilos heavier than his opener. We have Oliver. currently second place within Flight A, predicted 9th out of all of the 93s.
Yep. Let's make this move, Oliver.
2.5 kilos heavier than his heaviest comp pull. And that was quick. Oh,
I think he...
unfortunately, I'm not sure if that was impatience in skipping the command or if it was unsteadiness. I think that was impatience.
I think so.
And
again, strength, not an issue.
Strength, absolutely there. I think we'll see 225 there. Here we have Jay coming out to also take 220 kilos. This will be a 2.5 kilo comp PB.
Nice and patient.
And he fights through that lockout. Makes it convincing. The refs like it. 220. I imagine that'll be another 225.
Yeah. Very fast off the floor.
Everyone fishing for those 4 reds. Very fast off the floor. Very good example of conventional strengths.
Yeah.
222.5 for Liam now, jumping 12.5 kilos from his opener. This will be a 5 kilo comp PB. And he fights through that very well.
Nice.
The refs like it. 3 white lights. Now, I've just seen Faraz is coming back out, so the attempt is 260.
Yeah.
Very interested to see how he handles this.
We hope he hits this.
In terms of how easy it looked, it could be quite a nice weight for him.
Yeah.
That switching to mixed doesn't actually affect him
Hopefully,
too badly.
You never know if he's been training with some mixed.
Potentially. I would imagine hook is off the table. Yeah.
Yes.
Looking at the bandages on his thumbs. And he pulls it. Again, the strength is there, but
unlucky.
Just gets caught at the knees. Fingers crossed. That one practice pull is enough to let him know what he needs to do to hit it a 3rd time.
Now he knows how the weight feels in his hands.
Exactly.
You've got one more try. Give it your all.
Absolutely. Strength clearly there.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a foreign technique for him. Now we'll be moving a little bit slower as the bar will be cleaned in between every single attempt, as it is every lifter's 3rd attempt.
Yeah.
Have to make sure there's no chalk that could stick and make it harder, and no talc that could mess with their grip. We want the bar to be in the best condition to give every lifter the best possible chance of making their 3rd attempts. A good chance to thank our spotters and loaders, doing a fantastic job to keep the flight moving, keep the bar clean, keep our athletes safe. If you do want to get involved in national level events, get in touch with your local federation, your local divisions, and volunteer regionally. It's a fantastic experience, and spotters, loaders, and volunteers in general are always needed and very, very welcomed. Brilliant way to get exposed to the sport as well.
100%. Thank you to all of you.
Now, 3rd attempt, Zach, 205. This will be a 5 kilo PB.
Let's finish the day strong, Zach.
And he pulls, and it's not quite
Just
there today. Unfortunately, but he still had a very, very good day. just being cleaned now. We have Oscar, who's gone up 10 kilos to take 210. This will be a 7.5 kilo comp PB. Let's see it now. Come on, Oscar.
Makes good, easy work of it.
Very nice attempt selection there.
Unfazed.
Very, very happy with that.
Next up, we've got Samuel with 212.5 kilos. This gives him a 5 kg PB.
Come on, Samuel. Let's see it. Patient off the floor. Oh, and he just gets caught at his knees. That will be downward motion, I'm afraid. The strength is there. He knows he has it next time.
100%.
Still be very, very happy with that.
He's still stuck with it and locked it out after the down. Once
To
the bomb
recover
moves
from
down,
that position,
yeah,
honestly quite impressive.
it is. Once it moves down, it moves down.
Unfortunately so. Now, 215, 3 reds and a blue for Sofiane. Currently sitting on a 502.5 kilo total, just looking to extend that a little further. Come on, let's see it now. Unfortunately, just not quite there today.
Yeah. When it comes to third deads, like, the energy's
Yeah,
quite low.
your 9th lift of the day, and it's almost certainly going to be your heaviest lift.
Yeah.
So very, very easy to just have that fatigue wash over you.
Still goes away with 210.
Absolutely. Next up we have James. 215 kilos, 3 reds and a blue. This will be a 10 kilo PB. And it's off the floor. Can he get that lockout?
Nice.
Left no room for doubt this time. Showed the judges that he deserved that weight.
Played a risky game, but he got the reward.
Absolutely. Next up, Oliver, reattempting his 220. Come on, Oliver. 12.5 kilo PB if he hits this. Gets that hook grip set.
Let's go.
It's off the floor, and he locks it out. And the refs say, 3 white lights. Good lift, Oliver.
So that's how a second was meant to move.
Exactly. Four deadlifts to go in flight A. Next up, we have 222.5 on the bar for TJ.
Let's go, TJ.
And he's fighting, and he's fighting. Unfortunately, just stuck at the knees there. Not quite today, but you'll definitely get it next time. Still had a great day of lifting. Next up, Jay, 225. 4 reds. As Dylan Nelson would say, 4 bad boys on the bar. Big, big milestone deadlift.
Let's see how he makes this move.
This will be a 7.5 kilo comp PB. It will also mean he goes 9 for 9. Which is a brilliant, brilliant achievement at a national level competition.
Something that's very impressive.
Something I'm still looking for after all these years.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
Come on, Jay. Everyone get behind him now. And he pulls, and he pulls. Lock it out, fight.
Nice.
And he pulls all the way through that sticking point, and the refs say, absolute 3 white lights. He's very, very happy with himself, as he should be. That was a brilliant way to end his day.
Good day out, yeah. 9 for 9.
All reds. Nats.
Yeah.
What more could you want? Next up, 227.5 for Liam. Looking to add 5 kilos onto that second attempt.
The penultimate deadlift flight.
This will be a 10 kilo comp PB. He already has a 5 kilo comp PB. Just looking to stretch that even further. Come on, Liam.
You've got this.
And absolutely he has this. Let's see what the refs say. The refs like it. He loves it. Very happy.
Lovely day. Now,
260 kilos being loaded for the last time.
he needs this.
He needs this. He needs this to stay in the competition. If he hits this and no one in Flight B pushes him, he'll be 3rd. But he needs to make this mixed grip work for him now. He's had 1 shot at seeing how it feels.
Yep.
Hopefully that was enough for him to realize what he needs to change in his technique. Strength is easily there. It's not a position anyone wants to be in.
It's not an ideal situation, but strength is there.
Everyone get behind him now. Come on.
He needs the whole crowd behind him. Makes it move.
He pulls and he pulls and he locks it. And oh, it's so close. That is a real shame.
It's a great effort, man.
So unfortunate for that callus tear to be the reason. I think people neglect how important it is to look after those calluses.
Exactly.
You'll see if you follow Renzo on Instagram, before every single one of his deadlift sessions, he's filing those calluses.
Yeah.
Especially as a big deadlifter, you just have to look after your hands. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more from the Fras in the future.
I do believe so.
And whilst he's not been able to post a total today, he set some absolutely massive competition PBs.
Yeah.
And also, since he's not posted a total today, those won't count on open powerlifting. And the next time he comes back, he's going to be breaking his quote-unquote PBs.
Yeah.
by even more ridiculous
By
numbers.
even more.
Okay, Flight B deadlifts starting off with Charlie. We've got 202.5 on the bar. Okay, Charlie. The bar has been cleaned. We are ready to kick off Flight B. Let's go.
Headphones are off and he's off.
Now he looks locked in. Wow.
That was just
Textbook. People
very nice.
could use that to coach a sumo deadlift.
Yeah.
That was a perfect example. Next up, Reese, 210. All right, Reese, let's see it. Not missed a lift yet. Don't start now.
Come on, Reese. Wow.
Wow. I hope he knows the warm-up room is not here. Next up, Ashley, 210 kilos.
Sometimes a conservative opener on deadlifts is what you need for that. little bit of
Especially
boost.
considering you can handle larger jumps.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley, again, must be a regional record holder because his
221,
personal
yeah.
best is 221.
And just
And he
makes 210
smokes
fly.
210.
Wow.
2 to 1, good lift. I feel like that yellow might have been for aggressive
Maybe.
downwards motion of the bar. Maybe a little bit too excited.
Yeah.
210 again now for Philip. Walks on, very confident.
Setting up nicely.
Mixed grip conventional. And it's very nice indeed.
Fast. Very fast.
Refs like it. 3 white lights.
Same again.
Moving up now to 230 kilos for Cameron. Unfortunately, I've just seen that Ashley's first pull has been overturned by the jury. I would imagine it was for that not controlling the bar.
Yeah.
Thankfully, something very fixable. Now, 230 for Cameron. 12.5 beneath his PB.
Makes easy work of it. Wow.
And that was very pretty.
was
Holds
a
that
snappy
lockout
lockout.
very convincingly. He'll be happy with that. Jumps off the platform. Next up, Jaden.
In first place currently.
$232.5. He's pulled 255 before. He's just looking to solidify that total before he pushes it even further. Come on, Joe. Rapid opener. He knows what he's here to do.
Yeah. He's sending a message.
Currently 12.5 kilos ahead of Sebastian in second place if Sebastian hits his opening deadlift. Although, as everyone will tell you, 12.5 kilos between deadlifts is not a big gap.
It is not.
One mistake and that gap is gone. These final pullers here all now eyes on that podium if one person slips up.
100%. Need to sort of weigh the consequences of going too high.
Exactly. Adam now, 237.5. Very conservative opener for someone with a previous comp deadlift of 265. Solidifies his total if the refs like it. They do. And now we can play the game.
Yes. This is where handlers come in as well.
Absolutely. Handlers have to be keeping an eye on that scoreboard. Those third deadlift attempt changes, you can really start getting in each other's heads and playing games. Now, 237.5 for Anthony. Only 7.5 below his personal best. Wow. And he smokes it. 3 white lights.
Opens the door to a lot more kilos.
Easily. Thomas now coming out, 237.5. This will match his comp PB on his opener.
What a way to match your comp.
That should not look like that. Little mishap from our controller there. Next up, Sebastian, 242.5. Has pulled 260 before. This should be nice and easy. Get that total solidified.
Fighting for podium here.
Currently predicted in 4th place, so he knows he needs every single kilo to make his way up to that 3rd spot.
Come on, Sebastian, let's make it fly.
Crowd getting behind him.
Wow.
And he makes it fly.
Wow, wow, wow.
Fast off the floor.
He has got
faster
a lot
lockout. That was quick.
The fight for podium is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Considering he's in 4th with such an easy pull,
Yeah.
he's got a lot more to give. These top 5 are all within touching distance of each other. Next up, and last to pull, 247.5 kilos for Owen. If he hits this, it pops him right into 5th place.
The last opener of the flight. Let's see it.
And that looked
Very smooth.
only 22.5 kilos separates 1st and 5th place. This is going to be an incredibly tight fight for the podium. Can't afford to make a single mistake now, because the other 4 will just snap up that chance and you'll be out of the running. Getting the bar clean just before the 2nd lot of attempts. The athletes or handlers can request for the bar to be cleaned, and if the referee agrees, they can be cleaned in between before the 3rd attempts. Here we've got Charlie with 217.5. His tour 2.5 was insanely quick.
I was just about to say, so is this.
That looked like an opener to me.
Put some weight on that bar, man.
He's hit 220 before. You've got to wonder if he's only just looking at that 225 for full reds, even though it's probably too easy. That's a goal he's had for a long time. You might as well just get it in there.
Yeah.
Next up, Reese, 227.5. This will be a 2.5 kilo PB on his second attempt.
Let's see it, Reese.
Come on, Reese.
Again.
That is a very, very convincing way to smash your PB. I'm not sure what he'll load now. He's definitely got a lot left.
100%.
I'd even be thinking about 240.
The way that moved? Yeah.
Next up, Ashley with 230 kilos. Unfortunately, his first lift was overturned.
Let's make this count.
This will be a 9 kilo comp PB. And he's pulling, and he's patient with it, and he locks it out. And there are no doubts this time.
Yeah.
3 white lights, and he's back in it. Next up, adding 20 kilos on his opener, we have 230 kilos for Philip. This will be a 7.5 kilo comp PB. If he pulls this, he moves from 12th into 10th, fighting for that top 10 spot.
Let's see this happening.
Fights through
And
it.
he fights through that sticking point. 3 white lights, 7.5 kilo PB in the top 10 for now. Can he hold on to that position?
The referee say,
Now, a 12.5 kilo jump for Cameron, going to 242.5. This will match his best ever competition deadlift. And his opener was quick.
Yeah.
Patience off the floor. Ooh, unfortunately just a grip issue there. Yet another callus claimed by the Lyco Nerl. And that's a mixed grip callus as well, which is
Yeah.
unfortunately a little bit more proximal in the hand, a little bit harder to deal with. We'll have to see what he wants to do about that. But the strength, definitely there.
He's opted to retake 242.
Very sensible decision. He might just have to push through that pain for 10
Yeah.
seconds.
Just hope his grip doesn't give out.
Yeah.
oh,
At least the bar will be cleaned before his next attempt. Could have been some talc there. Now, 250 kilos for Adam. Currently in 4th place. And Adam pulls. And he locks it out. Oh, and that's 3 red lights, I'm afraid. I believe he wasn't quite locked out, but I'm not
We'll be able to see from this angle, hopefully. I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure. I don't know if it was a little bit of a wobble at the top, if his shoulders weren't quite far back enough. He'll definitely be checking that with the refs.
Yeah,
he
he
goes
was
back
checking.
on. Now, Jaden taking 250 kilos, only 5 beneath his comp PB. Currently in first, looking to keep that lead.
Yeah, extend that lead. Run away.
And he pulls it off the floor and he locks it out. That looked comfortable. 3 white lights. Very, very happy
He is
with that.
very happy.
Shaping up to be a really nice day for him.
Yeah, very strong total.
We'll see in these next couple of polls who's going to challenge him for that number 1 spot. Anthony, 255. 4 reds and a yellow. This is 10 kilos heavier than he's ever pulled in competition.
Pulling from 5th to 4th.
A really good fight, but unfortunately just stuck there at the knees.
Yeah, just couldn't lock it out.
Now, I've just seen that Jaden's put in a final attempt of 270 kilos. I believe that will be a
That would be a
placeholder attempt.
placeholder.
As fast as that 250 was, I'm not sure another 20 is there just today. But by doing that, he can force others to pull first, and then he
Exactly.
can pull what he needs to win.
It's quite risky as well.
Now we have Tom, 255. Locks it out, a little bit of a
A
struggle
little
there.
bit of a sticking point.
Was there downwards? No.
It's good
2
enough.
to 1. Good lift.
Jury seemed fine with that.
Yes, they do. Lift has not been overturned. He keeps the good lift. We have 255 again on the bar, this time for Sebastian. He's pulled 260 before. He wants to make this convincing and set up that PB.
Yeah.
Currently in second place,
An
fighting
extra.
for every single kilo.
Extra 12.5 here if he gets this.
And he's patient with it and he locks it out.
Makes it look
That
very
is a
easy.
good second attempt. He has a fair bit of room to challenge the podium.
He does.
Keep his spot. Fight
Be,
for that top 3 in the country.
It's going to be exciting.
Already see handlers starting to think tactically about these third attempts
Yeah.
and any attempt changes they might want to make. There, Sebastian has entered 272.5 as his placeholder.
Yep.
They're all starting to play the game. I believe you're allowed up to 3 attempt changes for your final deadlift, but I could be wrong. Of course.
It gets to a point where people would want to change every 5 seconds, so
Yeah. Here we've got Owen, 260. This is a 2.5 kilo PB. And he's patient with it,
nice.
and he locks it out. And the refs are happy with it.
3 white lights.
Everyone now, deadlift on the board. Going to slow down a little bit now as the bar needs to be cleaned between every attempt.
Gives our lifters the best opportunity to hit that weight.
Expect to see lots of position changes here. is loaded for Charlie. 227.5. He has gone further than that 225, as he should. That 217 was incredibly easy. And unfortunately, it just looked like a balance issue there at the top. The strength, absolutely there.
Absolutely was there.
Yeah, just a balance issue at the top. Very unfortunate, but he still had a great day's lifting.
Yeah, he could probably attempt that in 5 minutes and get it, so it's just
shame
unlucky.
we don't allow fourths.
Yeah.
Next up, Philip, adding 5 onto his second attempt. Take 235 kilos. This will be a 12.5 kilo comp PB.
Let's see it, Philip.
He needs this pull if he wants to stay in the top 10.
Yeah.
And he pulls, and it's just not there today. We'll have to see if someone snatches up his position or if he still manages to keep it.
Still leaves with a 230 deadlift.
Absolutely.
Very strong deadlift.
And if you did manage to look away from the great lifting, you would see that the attempt changes have already started coming in.
Yep.
Jaden has changed to 255 kilos. Next up, this is Reese. 240 for his final pull. This will be a 15 kilo comp PB, and we'll move him from 8th to 7th place.
Wow.
And that looked like a second attempt. That was very, very nice.
That was very fast.
Always nice to see an athlete take the time to thank the referees.
Yeah. Without the referees, we wouldn't be able to compete. So.
Exactly. Can't help but wonder if Reese has competition plans soon. Because I hesitate to call it sandbagged, but that was easy.
That was very easy.
Next up, Ashley, 240 kilos. A 19 kilo comp PB. He already shattered that on his second attempt with 230. And he pulls, and just not there today, but still big, big personal best. Can still be very happy with himself today. We have another attempt change in. Adam has moved down to 267.5, I believe. I do anticipate that to change again.
Yeah. Need to keep our eyes locked in on those numbers.
Of course, the issue with these placeholder numbers is that if someone before you hits a weight that
You need to hit that
you
weight.
can't hit, you can't attempt change lower than they've just hit. So it is a very risky game to play. Next up, reattempting his 242.5 kilos.
Jacob, come on!
I
Screams as
believe
it comes
this
in.
was the callus tear.
Let's hope he's
Let's
able
hope
to.
it holds up and he can push through. Come on, Cameron.
Pushes. He
Pulls,
pushes.
patient. He keeps fighting.
Keep hold! Wellington!
And the refs say 3 white lights, good lift.
That is what I call locked in.
He knew what he had to do, and he did it. Next up, currently in first, Jaden. He has a 665 kilo total. He's looking to make that 670. If he doesn't hit this, Sebastian in second place with his 272 attempt would match him. If he hits this, he practically guarantees his first place position. Especially if there's a placeholder deadlifts. So let's see it now. He's done this in competition once before. He's just doing what he needs to be the best in the country.
And he pulls. Unlucky.
And that is incredibly unlucky. He is still in first. The gap is now a little bit smaller for those that want to claw their way up. Next up, 255 for Anthony, reattempting his second pull. Come on now. This will move him from 6th into 5th. Fighting for that top 5 spot in the country. "30 seconds have passed. He may not be coming out. He may have made the decision to just leave it. However, you need to let the clock run out.
This does give the other athletes 1 minute extra to just rest.
Yeah, it depends on how long he would have taken to do his pull, but it is always nice to let the timer run out as per the rules. And just waiting on the refs to say no lift. Someone from the jury is talking to them, so something else may have occurred. And that is 3 red lights, no lift. Next up, 260 kilos, Sebastian. Currently in 2nd place. And it's looking like no one can catch Jaden's 665 now.
Yeah.
There is only 5 kilos currently between 2nd and 3rd though. So he really does need this pull.
He's hyped up. The audience is hyped up.
This really, really matters now. Come on.
Boy.
25 seconds. And he pulls.
And he pulls.
And he locks it out. And the refs say 2-1, good lift.
That was easy.
Fast. Very fast. Next up, currently in 4th, pulling for 2nd place, we have Adam attempting 267.5 kilos.
This pulls him into 2nd.
And a 2.5 kilo comp PB.
Yeah.
Come on now, Adam.
Let's see it.
And he's up, and he's up, and he's up.
Keep
Can he lock it
pulling.
out? Looks good from here.
That is.
And he is in 2nd place now.
Right.
Only 2 more to go. 5 reds now loaded on the bar for our last 2 deadlifts of the afternoon.
Wow.
2, and there's been an attempt change. Owen's 275 down to 270. A sensible change, as he's now been put into 4th, and this is what he needs to podium. No point risking it. He's taking what he needs to get that 3rd place.
Yep.
Which will actually match the current 3rd place. So he must, yes, 89.7 kilos.
Wow.
For those who aren't aware, if 2 athletes have the same total, the one with the lower body weight takes the higher position. Yep. I apologise for any language you may have just heard from the crowd behind us. Next up we have Owen, 270. This is what he needs. And he pulls,
He breaks the floor
and he locks it out. And the refs say 3 white lights. Good lift.
Lovely little thumbs up there.
Into 3rd place. The final deadlift of the afternoon. 5 reds for Tom. 275. He's in 5th place. This won't change that. But this will be an absolutely massive pull to end the afternoon.
Let's see it, Thomas.
And an enormous PB if he hits it.
A very, very big PB.
Everything he's got. Come on. And he pulls. Oh, and just not there today, unfortunately.
Thanks the crowd. Yeah.
That brings our deadlifts to an end this afternoon. Thank you again to our sponsors, Avancus, Alico, ESN, and SBD. Thank you to our spotters and handlers and volunteers and everyone involved. Thank you to the refs. And thank you to the hangar in Wolverhampton, where we currently are. The medal ceremony will be up soon, and then prime time this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Take care.